This is Molly. I wasn't planning on doing her video diary today, but she's on her way to the vet to have another surgery for her cancer that's on her left elbow. 2 years ago she had one removed, but it's grown back. So she's had her bath and her ears cleaned and her toenails done, and we're all ready to go. We're just out here drying off. Come on, Molly. 9 years ago, I was on my way to work, going down a really desolate road, and I passed this skinny little dog, whipping her head back and forth, tail crammed down between her legs. She looked like she'd just been struck by lightning. I said, "What is wrong with that dog?" So I could see her bones sticking out. I knew she was in trouble. Figured she was either lost or probably been dumped, so I pulled over, and she was scared of me. Oh, we'll hide behind the post. Molly's doing pee-pee. And so luckily I had a roast beef sandwich in my lunch cooler. And I dragged that around on the pavement for about 20 minutes, and she finally let me catch her. So I called my next customer and told him I couldn't come. I'd found another dog, and I had to get her up to the vet. So I took her on up there, and he checked her out, and she had heartworms, hookworms, whipworms, colitis, and an infected uterus. He gave her some shots. I brought her home. He told me to bring her back in 3 weeks for the second series of shots. So a few days before she was due to go back again, I noticed she'd started to put on some weight, but it looked strange the way she was putting it on. So when I got her up to the vets, I said, "Please tell me that's dog food." And he said no, she was pregnant. And 1 week later, she delivered 6 huge puppies. Molly weighed 32 pounds when I first picked her up. She weighs about 55 now, and she was a full-grown adult dog then, but she was so emaciated we couldn't even tell she was pregnant until a week before she delivered the puppies. And her big boy, Ollie, he goes 110 pounds. They're all big. Now, Ubi was the firstborn puppy. Well, his name is Scooby. I call him Ubi. And he's the one that just 2 months ago had to have surgery for a tumor on his liver. Luckily, it was just a mass of blood vessels. They said it was a hematoma, and it had started to bleed, and he collapsed. So we rushed him up to the emergency vet at 1 in the morning, and they did surgery and saved his life. But this is my little sweetheart here. She has never, ever done anything wrong in her whole life. I've had her for 9 years. She's never done anything wrong. There is no way she deserved to be out on the road starving to death like that. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. When I got her up to the vet that first day, the nurse noticed that she had some scabs on her head. And we got to looking at it, and she had been shot on 2 separate occasions, square in the face with birdshot. We got about 24 pellets out of her, but the gray, I don't know if you can see it, the gray that's around her eyes is not from age. That's scarring. Oh, there's Sweet Lucky. Told you he thinks he's a dog. He goes on every dog walk with us. That is all scarring from the bullets that were around her eyes. Some of the wounds were scabbed over, and some of the wounds were fresh and bleeding. So we know she had been shot in the face on 2 separate occasions, probably trying to approach somebody's house for food because she was starving. But I had fantasies about what I could do with that gun if I could find the person who did it. Anyway, Molly has never done anything wrong in her whole life. Now, no dog, no matter what is the problem, deserves to be out on the side of the road starving to death. But can you imagine if those bullets had taken Molly's eyes out? she would have wandered around in the woods out there and starved to death blind. Oh, just thank God I was on that road that day. Well, I was planning on doing her video later on another day, but especially with an older dog when they're going into surgery, you just don't know if you'll see them again. My vet is really good, but you know, there's the anesthesia, and that's rolling the dice. But we have to get that cancer off of her before it metastasizes to other places. So, hey Molly, you ready to go for a ride? We're gonna go in the car. Grandma's coming with us. Come on, Molly. Let's go. She knows where she's going. The only time they get in the car around here is when they're going to the vet. All right, well, I'm sure Molly will be okay. And I'll let you know what happens with her.